I fucking love this game. I've spent a lot of time with it. I was really excited when it was first announced, and spent over 100 hours with it. Um, let's see, what do I want to do? Conquest. Operations, there we go. Just really cool. Like they set a game in World War One. Like there are other games that have done that, but this was definitely one of my like the only one I played, and I thought they did a really good job. Obviously some bugs, but nowhere near as bad as the Battlefield 4 launch. That was almost like a year of hell. This was pretty smooth out of the gate, even if they did have some issues. And I really did a good job adding to it, I thought. This was fun. Before we get into that, what challenges am I doing? I am all over the place, clicking on the wrong stuff. Okay, medals. Weekly. We'll go for that one. I think I got that before. The rest are like map specific or like vehicle specific. I don't want to go through those.
By July 1918, the German army had total control of the Soissons-Château-Thierry roads. These were vital lifelines for the German soldiers based in the Marne salient. Fearing an offensive in this region, the French planned to force the Germans out of this area.
Coming down the series,
they would make use
they're kind of all over the place with the titling. They called this game Battlefield 1 because it's set in World War 1, like straightforward. But like the very first game in the series was what was called Battlefield 1942. And then there was Battlefield 2, and then there was Battlefield 3, and like a bunch of spin-off games and stuff like that, Battlefield 4. So now this next one is called Battlefield 5.
Wie sich ihre Panzer sammeln und im Licht der Dämmerung vorrücken. Mit ihren riesigen Faschinen wirken sie noch mehr wie monströse prähistorische Tiere, die bereit sind, Mensch und Material gleichermaßen zu verschlingen. Was ist nur aus der Menschheit geworden, wenn sie nur noch etwas erschafft, um zu zerstören? Bald ist es vorbei, sagen sie, ja. Nach einem Blutbad aus Fleisch und Stahl.
Every map just looks incredible, all the sound effects, everything just looks fucking awesome. But I think this game looks great too. So yeah, class-based first-person shooter, 4 classes you can pick from, mainly, and then specialist classes for like vehicles and things you can pick up on the map as they drop. The only one I really don't spend a lot of time with is recon, or whatever the sniper class is, because I'm just not that good as a sniper. I'm just maybe on like a PC with a mouse and keyboard I'd be more accurate, but it's tougher for me to snipe on a console. Yeah. So I usually like to do medic or assault. Support can be a lot of fun too, though. Really, whatever. Excuse me. And yeah, this is taking some time to load. I really hope it's not gonna do what I hate and put me in a completely empty match, because it has fucking done that before, and that
Commander Foch has given us the go. Hot then?
Okay, cool. Oh. There we go.
We have lost objective apples.
So bad thing about attacking this map is you have the defenders do not. So we have to advance, and certain try to say if we completely wiped out walls. Hit somebody, but there were a lot of dudes and a fucking tank, so I have to try something different. Stare at my corpse. Quest in order, you usually get 1 point for following them. So if someone sets this just don't place it.
We have taken objective butter.
Tiens, des munitions.
Well, good news is I'm squad leader, so I can fucking set some objectives out. The only problem is when I forget I'm a squad leader, and then we go like minutes with no objective.
Nous devons défendre cet objectif.
Definitely no good with a tiny little Calibri pistol. It is funny that's in the game though. I don't even know if I have that unlocked.
We have lost objective apples.
It's been a while, but that's no excuse really. I'm just kind of just not great. Most of my points come from capturing objectives, not killing enemies.
Capturez l'objectif.
One thing about this game we may encounter are either trolls or people seriously stupid. There's Nazis, a lot of people like to say things mostly usually kind of reverse or just sort of stereotype, but like pretty much on Nazi style. have time to shoot me with a rocket gun. I am not doing so great. Yeah, come in. Sorry. Hey. Yeah, I was. Sorry. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Playing some of the Black Ops 4 beta this weekend. I did a live stream, my very first live stream ever of that, and unfortunately I did not have the settings allowed to archive it, so I lost that first 2.5 hours of stream footage, but then I did another stream on Monday, so that's also on my page. And I thought it was okay. It had, I thought like the futuristic stuff, it was definitely interesting going back to that. I'm interested to see Battlefield 5 what they're doing with their like movement animations, like more specific running stuff, or like when you're in water or like mud versus just on regular terrain. It's gonna be absolutely terrible here. Pretty cool thing with the single player mode with this, instead of like a long double-based campaign, they had just like individual
assault was a failure again.
One where either
But
the
too much
Bedouin
French
warrior
blood
was
has
like
been
Lawrence of
spilled
Arabia.
to give
I
up
just thought it was
now.
cool that it had your own
Let us
thing
at them one last time.
for a good bit of it. Kind of like let you do like a stealth mission and like anywhere you wanted to. It was neat.
We are being reinforced with a behemoth.
Capturez l'objectif.
So they've changed this game up a lot. There's now like perks, like Call of Duty style. Grenades are now like a recharge. You used to have like a set amount until you spamming too much. So there's been a lot of like changes to the overall strategy of how you play this. As time's gone on. I'm gonna die here. Yep.
We have taken objective butter.
And to be honest, I haven't like kept up with it as much as I was playing it at launch, so like I haven't like I still don't play with like the perks in my mind as like a consideration, even though like they totally are a thing, and like I haven't spent a lot of time.
La démunition.
That was hilarious. I went fucking flying. Okay. I'll take a squad XP boost, fuck yeah.
Capturez cet objectif.
We are losing objective butter. We have lost objective butter. We have taken objective apples. We are losing objective apples. We have lost objective apples. We have taken objective apples. The sector. Clear the sector from enemy presence.
Text.
We have secured the sector.
Try and go for realism with the stuff, and there's some really silly shit. So, like, for example, I'm in this tank, and obviously the tank can take damage, but I myself cannot. So, for example, if someone throws like a mustard gas grenade, even though like the gas would totally realistically be coming out of the tank in real life, I take no damage from that mustard gas, even though I don't have my mask on or anything like that. It's really weird. I guess it would make mustard gas like way too strong. It was.
taken objective apples.
Call this my warm-up, my half-hour to 45-minute warm-up.
Of our soldiers remain. We have taken the sector. Clear the sector from enemy players.
Not a lot you can do there. I don't have any anti-tank grenades or mines or anything. Do that.
The final objective is within our reach. "50 of our soldiers remain.
screenshot that is about how these games typically go. Every once in a while I will kind of get on speakers like that. I can't get a lot of kills. That's not happening this round though.
Twenty of our soldiers remain.
Never stop fighting. Inaction is atrophy, paralysis, and death.
By 1918, the Germans had perfected the art of defending in depth. But at Marne, the French proved that a new type of war could be waged that favored the attacker and not the defender. A war that used mobile and mechanized combined arms. If the Germans had found success and mimicked these Allied tactics, perhaps further assaults on France and the capital would have been possible, changing the course of the war.
Pardon me, I need to make sure I get a full serving of fruit by the foot for my health. To be fair, we did join that one pretty late. Alright. It's not return. Expo starts in 32 seconds. Alright, I will be back very shortly after this bathroom break.
This infernal bombardment, the noise, the smoke. The most tremendous cannonade I've ever heard. Swept round us in a wide curve of red leaping flame, quite unending in either direction.
It's a whole new type of warfare, boys. Gotta be careful.
They're calling them stormtroopers. Jerry's best. Got orders to leave their trenches and charge right into us.
Come on, concentrate on your bayonet. Imagine it piercing the hearts of the Hun. Every last one of them.
Alright. Long ass fucking load times in this game. Like I said earlier, most frustrating thing is getting loaded into a match and waiting a long ass time and there being nobody in the match.
The German attack is imminent.
Really frustrating. Okay, we're defending. Yeah. Okay, so now we don't have to worry about dying so much. A little less stressful. A little bit easier to kind of just go my life for ire about it.
Objective apples.
Enemy attack! Stand faster!
We have lost objective apples.
There's ammo!
Objective apples.
I get better at aiming and shooting guns. That would be good for a first-person shooter to be able to do that.
Defending to the back, mate!
Lost objective apples.
Also, this is
Take the ammo.
Are you chasing me? So the one we can hold I think that these operations are, they already all over the map. There's actually a whole another map after this that they made us on this one to go to. But if we're really good or they're really bad, we can just stop them on this map and not even go to that units. Like they get 3 tries. So I never throw this tries. Apologies, how's that? It's odd. For me, I've got it like barely any game volume now. How are you doing now? Gotcha. Alright, how about now? Is that too loud? Alright.
We have taken objective apples.
Weird, there's mic settings specifically for this game. One sec while I figure this shit out. Testing, how's that? Too loud though? Okay, so would you still want it higher than what I set it to? The only reason I ask, it's the in-game setting I have, it was looking like if I would set it too much higher, it was going to be like in the too high range, it would be like in the, start being like just kind of garbled noise or whatever. Okay.
We are Losing objective apples.
I will keep that in mind for future games as well. Thanks for your help with all this.
Ammunition for you!
Yeah!
There's some ammo!
Oh yeah, I was doing that with the one I did Monday. I don't think I told you, but I forgot to have my settings set to archiving the stream, so we lost that whole 2.5 hours. So I redid Black Ops beta for an hour. So unfortunately, our glorious conversation is no longer preserved. How's your day going so far? Just about almost 7 o'clock over there. I can believe it. Shit. Well, we're doing pretty good holding them off here. We haven't even taken one area yet. No worries, dude. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you, giving me your feedback. I was doing some Tekken 7 and, Dragon Ball Fighters earlier. Yeah, it is in September, which will be pretty fun. They're even working on a simplified control scheme to make it work on one Joy-Con, which is pretty cool. It's already a relatively simple control scheme for a fighting game anyway, which I like. Relatively low barrier to entry. I literally only just got it though, so I need to spend a lot more time with it, but really cool so far. It looks fucking incredible. Switch has actually got a lot of decent fighting games and like just good local multiplayer shit. It's a fun console for that. I wish it did have like streaming support built into it though. It'd be cool to like do some stuff natively through that for Twitch. Instead you have to like hook up like a bunch of shit. Yeah, I'm gonna maybe get one of those eventually, but figure I'd start small and maybe just, you know, do stuff either through the PS4 or like through the PC or whatever. Or through the Xbox. But we'll get there. Yeah. No need to go all out right away. I actually haven't been too recently. It's just been like logging into Steam to like make sure all my games stay updated, really.
Take the ammo!
Mostly just been like console, like PS4, Switch, and a lot of handheld stuff, like still finishing up like 3DS and Vita. I know. I really should, but yeah, I just haven't been. Only so many hours in a day. The other thing is, recently we switched Wi-Fi setups in this house, so we're now mostly on a 5 gigahertz thing. But my laptop does not have a 5 gigahertz receiver, so it only receives the lower gigahertz band, which is now a much weaker signal than we used to have for that. So the only way I can get a really solid signal for any online stuff on the PC would be going down and doing the wiring connection. Because my room, yeah, I know, it's really shitty. It's honestly annoying even just to do browsing. Sometimes I have to like go down to the basement where there's an Ethernet port and just do it that way, which obviously then there's no problem. But my room's not wired for Ethernet, which maybe we can change. I'll talk to my family about it. Because I would definitely love some of that sweet, sweet Ethernet, but yeah. It's so funny, I would never have thought of that as like a thing when I got that laptop. I thought it was pretty much future-proofing it, and I would have never thought about like Wi-Fi gigahertz band. Yeah, there's one literally in the bedroom right next to mine though. Like we already have stuff like that throughout the house. I think it's literally just like because it's mostly prioritizing the 5G signal, the lower band signal or whatever is lower priority.
That ammo's for you.
Half of the enemy forces are gone.
When did you get your desktop? Okay, yeah, that's basically when I got my laptop.
Grab that ammunition.
Cool. Yeah, it still runs stuff. Like the thing is, I wouldn't be playing too much new shit on mine. Like it has a good. I think because of how it's like designed in a laptop, it kind of like partitions the RAM and stuff a bit more. I don't know. But like all the stuff I have on there existing wise runs great. Like I wouldn't want to do like this on my PC. It just wouldn't look as good as it would on like a beefier rig. No, it is. I'm not like it gets the job done for a lot of what I need to do.
We have lost objective apples.
But like realistically, I think for me, like, this game runs a lot smoother, would run a lot smoother for me, like, doing what I am now, playing on the PS4 Pro, as opposed to trying to get it to run looking this nice on my laptop. That's always the other thing, too, is, like, do I, like, support AMD more or NVIDIA more? Like, I have an AMD thing. It seems like a lot of people started going more NVIDIA, but it depends on the developer and what like relationship they have with the graphics card maker. That's like the one thing about PC. Like I think PC gaming is great, and PCs in general are great, but there's a lot more like variables and like what could be the problem. And sometimes it's really simple, and sometimes it's not.
Ammunition.
Like, I think that's why there'll always be a market for consoles, because some people just want to turn on. I mean, granted, like, especially now that these consoles are a lot more like PCs, there are definitely game crashes as well, but, like, relatively straightforward. Like, that you turn on the system and the game just basically works for it. You know the game is designed to work specifically for the system and this hardware. You have to, like, tweak settings on your PS4 to, like, get it to run for the most part. Unless you have, like, a PS4 Pro and you're trying to, like, I guess some older game doesn't support the boost mode or whatever, and you have to go turn that off. But I haven't had any problems with that.
Ammo! Right there!
We are losing objective butter.
Oh, for sure. There's always gonna be something, like it could be a driver out of date, or just like I said, like it runs better. Like some games run better on certain hardware versus others because that's what they developed it for first, and they'll patch it like over the months to like make it run better on the other stuff. You never know. It can be a lot. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Good luck with whatever you gotta do. And thanks again for stopping by. Talk to you later.
We have lost objective apples. We have taken objective apples.
There's ammo!
Objective butter. 50 attackers remain.
silver. Away. Spin some nades. And die. Whatever. We rode a horse. It was dope. It was beautiful. No one can take that away from us. Oh fuck. Oh. Oof. You hate to see that. I do love to see that though. I do love to see the person who killed me immediately die afterwards. That was satisfying. Fuck out of there. Not fast enough. But wait. Put some flex tape on it and we're good to go. And I shot at the dead body instead of the alive body, and that's why we're dead. And they're alive. But it doesn't matter because they're not going to take the section. We only have 20 lives, and I think we'll hold them here, even if they get, like, you know, maybe they'll get reinforced. They're outnumbering us, and we're still winning. What the fuck?
20 attackers remain.
How bad are they? Shouldn't be. Yeah. Burn, baby, burn. Oh, fuck your armor. Ah, shit. Alright. Coming for me. Yeah.
Ammunition.
Take that ammunition, take it. Yeah, we won the first round. 2 more waves of these assholes to go, and
that's
then
the spirit and determination that made Britain great. But they will come again.
And then we'll see how I'm feeling if I wouldn't keep playing this game anymore, because Battlefield takes a lot out of you. It is a long-ass game, especially when you do a whole operation. 2 defenses left, alright.
The enemy is being reinforced with an airship.
I don't know, I don't hear the Final Fantasy music. Oh, wait, like... Infantry airship, alright. Excuse me. Ooh. Probably going to be sneezing again, so I might be muting the mic for a few minutes, if that's the case. And if so, I apologize. I don't really have allergies, but occasionally I'm just getting a sneezing fit that does so much.
We have lost objective butter.
Ooh. Gnarly. I still don't get like how
we have lost the sector.
It has that much health though, like how it's just able to like keep staying up there. I feel like shooting anything like a giant zeppelin the ending is pretty quickly.
Take it.
Oh, are you fucking trying to melee him? Damn.
We are losing objective apples. We have lost objective apples.
Oh, damn, okay.
We have lost the sector.
Shit. Alright, now they're finally making some progress on this. This airship has helped them out a bit more than I thought it would. We got a little too comfortable. Probably also got a bunch of tanks and shit too.
That ammo's for you.
Me too, dude. Yeah. And they've been having this thing going on all summer where you can unlock weapons for Battlefield 5. Like, by playing Battlefield 1. Or like skins, rather. Like for Battlefield 5 weapons.
We are losing objective butter.
Ugh. Yeah, I think it's pretty neat, honestly. I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to be playing much Battlefield 1 over the summer, and that was like a big thing of like got me like, well, might as well, like, you know, I still love the game, and I'm going to be playing Battlefield 5, might as well like unlock some skins for it. Now, they've also been, I think Black Ops 3's been doing this too, Battlefield 1's been doing it too, they've been like letting certain expansions be free temporarily so that you can add them to your account, and then permanently have them during that, once you add them, to get more people to play on the expansion maps. I think that was the big problem with this game, is not a lot of people bought the expansion pass, because it was $50 whole extra dollars. I did, and it had some really cool stuff. But I think a lot of people just played the launch maps, and then when things started going toward the expansion, there was just like a handful of people who were like really dedicated and had bought the expansion pass, and like a lot of people just stopped fucking playing, and because they very quickly released like a Game of the Year edition. Like before even all the expansions were out, they released like a Game of the Year edition for $60 to get everything, and then they're even like rapidly like discounting that. Like they're doing a lot to get players to come back and like more people to play the expansion content, because I think just way fewer people than they were hoping were interested, and it's also probably a huge part of why for Battlefield 5 all the updates like new maps and shit like that are going to be free, because I think like people did the math and they realized it's just now you look at stuff like GTA Online, you give them free, like the money, if you get enough of a player base, the money is really just in like microtransactions and recurring like payments and stuff like that for like cosmetics and shit, or like, you know, they're not going to probably do too much loot box stuff with Battlefield 5 because they got in trouble for that for Battlefront. But like, just like skins or whatever. And then with the content updates like maps and weapons and stuff, you keep people coming back, and that's how you get them to spend money on the other on the cosmetic shit. But then they feel good about like their purchase, and then they want to keep coming back to see all the new stuff. You know, like I just got back into GTA 5 again because of the nightclub update, and that's been a lot of fun.
The ammo's got your name on it.
No idea who was there. Oh wait, yes! Let's go, get out there. Fuck, who's shooting at me? Ah, completely missed him. Not since. I don't think I've had any new guns since like the last expansion pass, which was Apocalypse. But they have, like, in all the expansion stuff, they did add new guns for each one they did of those. So I don't think they've added any new guns like since then.
Ammunition for you!
We are losing objective water.
Oh, that was stupid. Creamy sausage killed me. Ugh. Can't feel good about that one.
forces are gone.
Yeah, showed up right at the end. Classmate who does nothing in the group project. That mask on. Smoking dank over here. Oh, that's a teammate. Where you at, bro? Shit. Nothing you could do there.
We have lost objective butter.
I really think Battlefield 5 will be pretty special, though. I'm excited for it because they learned a lot of lessons from this. Comes out in October, I believe. I think. So Black Ops 4 is out October 12th, and I think Battlefield 5 is out a couple weeks after that. You know, I think it's like, you know, those two are competing with each other, like one's gonna go before. I think Battlefield decided to go after this time. Usually Battlefield is launched before, but they've kind of been more on the rise this past few cycles, so COD's been more on playing defense with a lot of other shooters out there. I can look that up real quick, when exactly it is. Alright, in the meantime. Oh yeah, there's all, I mean, you know, it's not in the sense that like they don't want to see each other succeed, but they're trying to sell as many copies as possible, and realistically, for a lot of people out there, games are expensive and they're only going to buy a few every year, if that. And there are plenty of people who like, I only like to play a couple of games. I like to just do a deep dive on one game and just, that's it. Like they will just master Prestige COD or whatever, and that's just it. Or like they'll play Battlefield for 1,000 hours, or 2,000 hours. So they know they've got to get your attention. Like that was the thing that I think killed Titanfall 2, is they argue like, oh, it's a sci-fi shooter, it'll be different enough from Battlefield 1, but they launched it alongside Battlefield 1 and Infinite Warfare. You know, Doom had come out earlier that year. There was so much shit, and I love Titanfall 2, but it was just sandwiched in there at a really bad, like it got hamstrung by its fucking release window. It just didn't have enough room to breathe with all the competition. Like, I didn't pick up Titanfall 2 until later. Like, and I wasn't even gonna get Battlefield 1 right away, but it looked too good to resist. Yeah, it was just, it didn't have a player base. Like, they even did free updates for it, and I love that game. I just think it's so much fun. Like, just like, people didn't keep up with it. I think the problem was there wasn't like, it just like, I think it didn't, even though it has like big maps and like these big robots, like it was only ever like a 5v5 kind of thing. And so it never felt like as big as it could have been. Like if it was like a Battlefield level shit where it's like 64, it could be like, you know, 32 versus 32, like robots, like that would be fucking crazy. I think that would be when you see like really crazy potential start to open up. But it was still really fun. I love like any kind of fast, twitchy shooter. I love like the movement and that. It like really made me feel like Quake 3, but like with some smart updates. Did I play Destiny 2? No, I really only played a bit of Destiny 1. I didn't even play a lot of Destiny 1. I beat the campaign with one class, and my issue with Destiny is it just feels like too much of a grind, and it's like not enough of a fun grind for me. like I just didn't spend enough time with one. I didn't stick it out for them to fix a lot of the issues. That, like the first year of Destiny 1 just like was a blatant beta test, and that was a real bummer after all the hype that had been up for it. But I'm glad you're liking Destiny 2. I hear weird things about it because like I hear the casual players or like more just regular normal players of Destiny 2 love the changes, and like the super hardcore Destiny people who like just want to play nonstop all day every day are mad that there's not like it's not the same grind that Destiny 1 had. But I feel like that would be a good thing because the stuff that the grindy shit in Destiny 1 was why I didn't want to play. But I don't know, I just feel like there's so many other shooters out there I'm playing that like it would be weird for me to get into Destiny. I'm glad you're having fun with it though. That's another thing is my philosophy with like games in general is like there might be shit I don't like or somebody else doesn't like, but if someone has fun playing a game, like that's the fucking point. Like who cares what a critic thinks about it or like what every other gamer thinks about it. Is like if you have fun fucking playing a game, enjoy the hell out of it. I like Borderlands. I feel like Borderlands does a better job with the loot, to be honest with you. I think Borderlands was just more fun for me. I liked it, leaned into the Diablo elements more. Like again, I haven't played Destiny 2. I've only played Destiny 1, and that just felt like too half-baked. It didn't feel like it had good shooter elements, but like campaign-wise, not enough interesting shit going on. So you want to like get better gear, but I just felt like the loot wasn't interesting enough to justify the grind they were having you do for it. Whereas Borderlands, you're constantly finding shit, and then you had the different. And then also with Borderlands, like I felt the actual classes felt truly different, and like had more like reason to pick each one. Whereas like Destiny is really just like, yo, what super move do you want? Like I think I did Hunter for mine, but like I played through like a bit of each one in multiplayer, and they all really do feel similar. And again, that might have changed like with more updates about in the first one and in 2. I felt like Borderlands did a better job of having more unique classes and weapons and stuff like that that made it worthwhile, like what you were doing and the time you were spending with it. But like that's just me. All right, one more defense.
You defended like lions, taught Jerry a lesson in British pluck. They are clearly battered, but are mustering forces for one final attack.
I think that'll be really interesting with the health. It's going to be interesting to see. Because, yeah, it is an equipable item. You can also choose to not have it. I was reading, I didn't spend too much time with the item myself. I was reading right now a lot of players that complain about the armor that you can equip, because it makes it so much longer to shoot people. I can imagine they're going to tweak that armor for, like, there's a lot of stuff they're going to be looking at with this beta. I don't know how much I'm going to play with the second wave, but I'll probably get back into it a little bit when they open it up in 3 days. But I'm definitely going to check it out when the Blackout beta, their Battle Royale mode, comes out, because I want to see what that's all about. It definitely feels a lot more tactical. It feels like they incorporated elements of like Battlefield and Siege into it, but it still has like the fastness of COD. It's not like slow and methodical like these games are. They teased it very, very briefly in the main multiplayer trailer. Like, there's a very brief clip at the end of the regular multiplayer trailer where like they show an open field of like some people driving by in a truck real quick. So they are gonna have vehicles, which is cool. That like they did show, but like they're having a full reveal later. I think. I don't know if like the full reveal is gonna just be when this beta for the blackout mode happens, or if they're gonna be talking about it at all before then. I was saying in my live streams of it, like that's really I think going to be what everyone's most interested to see what they do with, because like the main multiplayer, we've seen it, like it's good, but like you know, it's always been the thing year to year with these games is it's relatively similar feeling no matter what they tweak, even when they took out the movement stuff. Although I do think they did do a lot to make this feel like they're trying at least things to make Black Ops feel unique. Some things are definitely succeeding, some are going to need more work, but I'm really interested to see what the blackout mode goes. But it is just interesting because they were the industry leaders, they were the ones everyone was copying for years, and everyone was just doing what Call of Duty was doing for the most part, and now they're doing what other people are doing, and that's not a bad thing, because I think, you know, Fortnite was able to put their unique spin on Battle Royale, and I'm hopeful that Treyarch is too. I feel like they wouldn't do it if they didn't have something interesting to offer with it, but yeah. I do think it's interesting, like, GTA Online kind of has, like, the more vehicle-based mode, but I'm surprised they didn't, like, haven't made that more of a feature. But I guess they just didn't want to be seen as, like, copycats on it. I still feel like they could build out their version of the mode a bit more there. But, whatever, they've got enough going on with that game anyway. Okay, a bit more even now. I've died 40 times, that is how little I'm fucking paying attention. Yet still, somehow, pretty high up the scoreboard. That was just bad. That was... yeah. That was bad. Oh, 15 suppression assists. Okay. That's specific. Highest kill game, probably in the 30s. But that would be for like, that's like when I'm really on it. But I also probably have around that many deaths, if not more. With Battlefield 1, I like to have a lot more fun doing the support level stuff. I really do enjoy like spotting dudes and like healing and throwing out ammo, and like I just like it's fun that there's a lot of things you can do to be helpful for your team, even if you're not necessarily the best shot. And they have a lot of good rewards and incentives for you to like do it. Because a lot of games like try and say like, oh yeah, we want people to like work together and shit, and then they don't give you any reason to do it. You know, for like more casual players who don't want to care about that shit. Yeah, I was actually talking about that before you signed on. I'm terrible at sniping, especially on console. Like I'd be better at it with a mouse and keyboard. But like even with like the sensitivity up, I just don't like sniping too much with sticks in a multiplayer setting. It's a little too high pressure for me. I really only do it when there's like challenges or like unlocks associated with it for this game. I do have respect for people who are really good with it. I'm just like, for this game, I definitely spent the most time with the other 3 classes. And right now, the only reason I'm sticking with support the whole time is there's a weekly medal I'm going for that has a lot of, now I don't specifically have to be support, but it helps when you can just lay down a bunch of fire to go for that suppression assist thing. Yeah, man, we're not even gonna get to the second map of this operation. I'm kind of bummed. It's kind of why I like to do these, but they didn't even push us back that far. Maybe they will. I mean, they have 160 lives, but they used up their behemoth, and I don't know, we're doing pretty well. Even if I'm not. Fuck, we're already... Shit. Never hear the one that gets you. Done in by Donnie himself. Ugh. Gross. Alright, do I have any XP boost I can use? No, I do not. Alright. Sorry guys, don't have anything to contribute. Just a filthy leech. No squad XP bonuses to offer up. You know, I haven't figured that out yet. I'm kind of just throwing a lot at the wall, seeing what sticks. I really want to keep it mixed up. I expected a lot of, Siege is going to be a regular one. A lot of fighting games. Every once in a while I'll do a single player thing, but, I kind of just like to have those for more me time. Especially as I'm, like, figuring shit out. Because it could be a lot of, like, just me bumbling my way through some shit, but it depends. I'm excited to. I'm definitely want to do a lot of horror games as well. I'm excited for October. I have big plans for Halloween this season to do a lot of spooktacular kind of shit. Maybe even like a charity like marathon stream or something like that. But that's pie in the sky right now. That's just ideas in my head, really. Yeah, but like shooters, fighting games, maybe, you know, just mess around with like some old school, like arcade style stuff, play a little bit of Windjammers, you know, if Thomas wants to get in on that. I actually don't have Dead by Daylight. I've heard good things about it. Dying Light is a very good one that I enjoy.
There's ammo.
Fuck.
There, ammunition. Thanks for that.
This game's so much fun to play, like probably 120 something hours, maybe even more, which, you know, obviously for some people isn't that much, but for me, because I like to jump around through a lot of stuff, it's a good bit of time to be spent with a multiplayer game. Yeah, I'm trying to. I want to just get in the habit of it. I want to just start practicing just being, you know, I mean, I'm an actor, I'm comfortable in front of the camera, that's not a problem for me. I just want to get in the habit of it. I figure, you know, it's like kind of one of those, if you build it, they will come things. Like, I'm not, I've been totally fine having like almost no people be on these streams watching live just because I'm starting out and I know like people aren't just going to tune in because I say to, unless, you know, I kind of build up an audience and, you know, let people find out about me naturally, so to speak. And I figure, you know, also in doing it daily, it's just quicker to build up a library of like content for people to come back and check out archives and see what kind of stuff I've got going on. And decide if I want to tune in more regularly. But yeah, I will be trying to be back tomorrow. Thanks, dude. I appreciate the positive feedback. The guy shot right past me. That was fucking hilarious. I've done that before, though. Bayonet charges can be quite literally very hit or miss in this game. It's cool that they have them in there, but it's a weird mechanic. But yeah, thanks. But yeah, I appreciate you and Thomas and all my friends and everyone so far tuning in, just giving me feedback, letting me know how audio, so like just small shit like that really matters to me because I care about audio quality a lot. Like I wouldn't want to listen to me go on if shit sounded really bad. So, you know, really nice of Thomas to lend me his mic while I work on getting one of my own. But yeah, the encouragement has been positive so far. If you like it, tell your friends.
We are losing objective butter.
Smash that like and subscribe button. That's what the kids say these days, right?
Take that ammunition.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, it might have to be like different times of the day and stuff like that. I don't know. I'll not always be free during the same time, but yeah, I'll definitely try and do at least something every day. Yeah. Or at least most days. But I'm definitely gonna try and go like, I want to get like a week straight for like the first week at least, just to get a good habit going. Creeping. Oh man, a lot of inaccuracy with that. Got him anyway.
We have lost objective butter.
That I've ever done? That's a good fucking question. Man, I mean, like if you're asking like what favorite acting role I've ever done, there's a really cool short film I was in. It's on YouTube called I Walk With My Brother, and I did it 3 years ago now, 2015, and it was just a no-budget student film shot by a friend of mine that I met working on another short film. He was like holding a boom mic on that movie, but he was directing this one for his thesis, or like his final project or whatever. And so we shot this movie. It was set during the Civil War out in New Jersey, and like with no money and a lot of help from like family and friends. He was able to get like a lot of costumes and good props and stuff. And we shot a pretty decent looking 15-minute short film set in the Civil War, which again, like for zero money, I was really impressed with what he was able to achieve, just like with his vision for it and like stuff. And the story's relatively, you know, I know a lot of stories, so kind of storytelling conceits, so to me I guess not a lot's original, but like it was kind of, to me, straightforward, but I liked it. It had a good quality to it, and it was just a lot of fun to do that. Theater wise, there was a role in college in a student play, this production of an old 40s piece called An Inspector Calls, and it was this weird kind of like mystery, kind of like parlor detective thing where this family was like kind of well-to-do family is celebrating and like the daughter getting engaged, and all of a sudden this police inspector shows up saying some girl's dead body has been found, and like proceeds to throughout the night explain how each one of them are responsible for her like drinking poison and killing herself. And I played like the shitty, like drunk, wasted son in the family, and it was a fun role to play. It was kind kind of like on the nose, very heavy-handed sort of play, a little bit with this message toward the end in the way like a 1940s play would be, but it was a fun roll throughout, and we had like the audience reacted in different ways each night we did it, so like especially toward the end a lot more people were laughing at it, especially I think because of how our director chose to direct it. So like there were some like extra comedy moments to it that like we were intending, so we had to pause for laughs where we weren't used to, and then there was one point where I was like improvising a moment on the final night, and I was started laughing. It was like I was on SNL or something. I had to like get it together. It was pretty funny. I'd say those two are probably my favorites, if that's what you meant. Ooh, was for 208 resupplies. Fuck yeah. I got that connect, son. 2 for 5s down the way. 24 kills, not bad. I do voiceover. I haven't gotten as many gigs for that, but it's a lot of fun, even just to practice. I always love just even submitting an audition for it. The nice thing about voiceover is I can actually submit a lot more auditions from home. I will self-tape auditions for like theater or TV as well, but that's a little less common. A lot more time, like, you know, if it's possible, I usually like to see you in person and get a better sense for your acting and what you currently look like and stuff like that. With voiceover, that's a lot less important, obviously. It's all about what you sound like. But one thing, you know, it's funny, a friend of my girlfriend's just texted me. He's interested in getting into voiceover. I'm going to have this conversation with him later, but basically, for people who are interested in voiceover, there's a few pieces of advice. One, it's a good idea to just have some kind of acting experience before you, like, even if you're someone who like has been told like, oh, you have a great voice or whatever. If you're not good at acting, if you're not good at like reading lines or emoting and kind of performing the piece, and also taking direction, you're not going to be good at voiceover. Like I've gone to voiceover classes and heard people who with really, really nice voices who I thought were going to like knock it out of the park, and then they just gave like the most awkward, stilted fucking reads, and it was just like, need some more acting classes. So acting experience is absolutely crucial, even if you're just like doing voiceover for like commercials or just like what are called industrials, which would be like videos the public doesn't see, but like, you know, a training video for like in place of employment or whatever. And then there's audiobooks, which I don't really have experience doing that. And that's really like, to do that, you have to have experience really being able to read a long passage at a time calmly and stuff like that. Is that my one point? Like, what do you mean? Is it like my main passion or whatever? I would say so, yeah. But obviously I'm a bit of a realist. I know I need a day job, so I have been looking for that. And sometimes I have one, sometimes I don't. Right now I'm in the middle, kind of interviewing for a position at something. Oh man, these load times are something else.
Commander Foch has given us the
Oh, is my acting on point? Wow, sorry.
Swiftly across these fields to secure the German
I'm a little tired. Yeah, I would say it's pretty decent. I get pretty good reviews on my work. I'd say one thing I'm good at is taking direction well. One thing I need help, you know, I'd say is more weakness as an actor though is and this is common. It's very easy to get locked into when you're practicing by yourself, to get locked into one way of performing a scene, and so I try like to not do that. Don't always succeed. Besides games, I love reading. I love comic books. I love regular books. I love listening to music. I'm not good, but I like to play music sometimes. I haven't played in a while, honestly, though. I'm very rusty. I play guitar and banjo. Love all kinds of music. Yeah, reading comics, watching TV and movies. Love anime. Other cartoons. I'm really excited for Castlevania Season 2 on Netflix. That is going to be fucking amazing. If you haven't seen that, I would definitely recommend watching it because it's only 4 episodes right now. It's fucking great. Definitely one of the best video game adaptations of like anything, like live action, animated, whatever. Favorite band? Wu-Tang Clan, I think. But I love all kinds of genres of music. But yeah, I'd say the Wu is just probably the most special. I love so many of their individual members. Castlevania, Castlevania, all one word. It's a video game series by Konami. It started on the NES. It's a 2D kind of action platformer where you fight Dracula. And so this series is an adaptation. It takes story elements from the 3rd game, mostly, Castlevania 3, because that was a prequel to the 1st game and 2nd game. And then a game that came later in the 90s called Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which was a really famous game because it incorporated a lot of RPG elements and then also a lot of like non-linear exploration, fill in the map kind of elements from the Metroid series, and then in doing so basically spawned this whole genre called Metroidvania, which a lot of games try and like, you know, will use that title like to describe themselves. Basically those kind of games are like mostly an action game, but it will be RPG elements where you level up or whatever, but it's a lot of like platforming and like basic action like fighting elements with an emphasis on exploration and unlocking items that allow you to go back to earlier areas and like unlock areas that you couldn't get into or whatever. Like, oh, now I have these boots that let me like jump higher, or like I have this bomb that can blow through this wall or whatever the fuck. You know, there's a lot of different ways you can skin that cat. Yeah, sorry for the rant. Castlevania, it's a good series. They got a really good cast for it too. They got 2 actors who were in the Peter Jackson Hobbit films, and one of those actors is also in a lot of video games. And then they got a British actor who, I guess his most famous role would be one of the characters on the newer Battlestar Galactica show.
We have lost objective apples.
Good, glad you like it.
The attack failed, but do not lose heart. It is the last 5% of possible exertion that often wins the battle. At them again!
2 attacks left. Let's see how we do here.
We are being reinforced with a behemoth.
Alright. Let's see how quickly this gets blown up. Nope. got a trophy. Witness me. Been working on that one for a while, actually. Happy I got it. New class rank. Oh, just all the rewards. I'm just sitting here in a fucking tank. It's awesome.
We have taken objective apples.
Ooh, that's no good. Okay. Fuck out of there. Well, we had a good run. The Calibri, I actually don't think I have that unlocked. Excuse me. One sec. Sorry, one sec.
We have taken objective butter.
Not much. Playing some Battlefield.
We have lost objective apples.
My brother Thomas off camera, everybody. The guy who was beating me in Dragon Ball Fighters. In case you couldn't hear, he says hi. I do not. I answered that question. We're not. You're right. Watch it, Thomas. That wasn't this war anyway. No, go for it. You mean like how many people I have like watching or whatever, or like what I want to do with it or anything? Right now I just want to have fun with it. I want to see if I can get like any kind of regular audience large.
We have taken objective apples.
Just to start building any kind of like I say, like just a habit around it, just getting it happening regularly, and then see where it goes from there. But you know, nothing. Oh, I've got to hit like this target of like this many viewers or like whatever by this time, or I failed or something. I'm just looking to have fun with it. I mean, because realistically, Thomas and other people have been telling me I should do this for a really long time, and I kept like brushing it off, or like, I said, oh yeah, maybe. And what I just finally came to realize is, I mean, I play a fuck ton of video games, and I'd basically be like sitting in a chair playing video games, maybe just talking to myself anyway. Might as well put it on camera. Yeah, I mean, that's how I see it. So, you know, I'd probably be doing exactly what I'm doing anyway on camera. Might as well share some of it with the world, and if people are entertained, I'm glad they enjoy it. And, you know, if it's a thing where it's like a point where I could monetize the account or whatever, I'd think about that. I'd be fine like doing some like just having ads on the account or whatever. I don't know if I'd be getting into I wouldn't want to be like an influencer or like anything like that. I think that's gets in a little odd territory. Thanks, dude, I appreciate it. a swivel chair. Can I do this without... Oh, no, I gotta put my feet down. Okay. Figuring it all out as I go. And this would be... Yeah, and we're attacking too. This is not good. This is another problem with Battlefield, especially if I play a lot of it. Gotta kill it. Just gonna get into autopilot. Kind of forget what my objective is. Just kind of like run around, especially if I'm talking. Like, not even like, you know, I've only just started streaming, but normally I'll play with this with my friends. We're all just all in a voice chat, and then we'll be like, oh yeah, what the fuck are we supposed to be doing? Oh yeah. And we'll still somehow end up being like the best squad, but like only because we like rallied toward the end or some shit. You're not gonna see any of that good gameplay from me tonight, though. It's been a minute since I played. There are days when I'm just racking up them squad wipes. Although I always have to wonder if there's like a 1-person squad or something. I don't care. If it is, I'll take it. I will always take fake points on the internet. One of my friends is really good. He's actually a really good sniper and a really good pilot, which I suck at both of those things. And you know, especially like when we're all together, you know, we just like we know kind of what to do and just how to work together. So we do a good job just like pushing the objectives and like just. I think with a game like this, it's really easy for some people to forget to play the objective, although they do put it in your face quite a bit with all these markers and whatnot. But we make sure, you know, we're capturing objectives and we're throwing down our healing item or our resupply or whatever. Spot, like, you know, I love to spot dudes even when I'm not a sniper, just because it's so fucking useful and it's just a cool mechanic, and I wish more people spotted and stuff in the game. It's just, I try and help where I can. But we're good about like being in sync about that kind of stuff. We definitely wouldn't be like winning any fucking tournaments or anything.
We have secured the sector.
She does. You know, she's not like, she doesn't have any modern systems or like doesn't do any PC gaming. She mostly plays like on PS3, and her sister has a Wii U. Unless she plays like Switch stuff with me or like PS4 stuff with me. I've gotten her into like playing Fortnite a couple rounds and stuff. She's not great. She's like very anxious about it, but she likes it. She's always down to like watch me play or like play Mario Kart with me or play whatever with me. Luigi's probably her like favorite video game character. But yeah, it's been cool to be with her because she's been really supportive of all this shit, and then just even when she doesn't play the game herself, she's always down to like watch me or like hear me talk about it or whatever. So, Liz, if you're watching, listen all later. Love you, babe. Thanks for all the support. She's not in anime though, so I have to share that connection with other people. As she puts it, she's not in the art style, or most of the art styles. Her loss. More anime for me, more waifus for me.
We have taken objective butter.
So shout out for getting 69 comments. Good happening, guys. That was my goal for this stream. Favorite anime is Cowboy Bebop. Just 26 episodes and then one movie, but fucking amazing series. Incredible soundtrack. I have like multiple of the CDs. Like I actually imported fucking CDs from Japan to like have like the official. I could have just like gotten the soundtracks online for free. I think I did do that too, but I wanted to have the CDs. It's this sci-fi like space western thing set in like 2070s, and like a good bit of the solar system is now explorable. But it has like a lot of it's presented with like very modern like dress and technology, relatively speaking, except for like spaceships and shit. And it's just the main characters are these bounty hunters who just from episode to episode are just trying to make a buck, or in their world the currency is wulongs, so they're trying to make some wulongs. And just a really cool vibe, awesome animation, just a really great like send-up of all these different genres, because it has like film noir and detective stuff and like Hong Kong action films and then westerns, and really good blend of like East meets West. I love reading One Piece and Naruto. I don't watch them as much, and yeah, I was the one who turned Thomas on Full Metal Alchemist, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Attack on Titan is very good as well. One Piece is probably one of my favorites to read. My all-time favorite manga is this, I'm just running in circles while I talk. My all-time favorite manga is this series called Berserk, which has been going on since 1990, and is a very slow-paced thing, but here, one sec, while I put myself in danger. This is the new volume of the manga I got that I haven't read yet, volume 39. It's been going on for almost 30 years, and he's not even close to done with the series, mostly because the author, one, takes his time with every panel, every bit of art looks fucking gorgeous, but two, he randomly takes breaks whenever a game in this video game series called Idol Master comes out. He's obsessed with that series, and he'll just like not write his fucking manga. And yeah, it's kind of frustrating being a fan of it, because I don't think he'll ever actually be finished with it, but it's one of the most amazing things I've ever read. They did an old anime of it in the 90s, and then on Netflix now there are 3 anime movies that like kind of tell the first arc of the story, and then there's also a first season of the anime carrying on from those movies to tell like the second arc of the story. I heard mixed. The anime, like those newer things, are a good adaptation, but they do like a cel-shaded thing, kind of like how Dragon Ball FighterZ works, and it looks okay in some spots and not okay in others. They definitely got better with it, but the first one, it looked real rough in spots. It was cool. It was cool to just see them adapting it, because I love Berserk. There's a game coming out for it, I believe. Oh, no. There was a game that came out for it, but it was like a Dynasty Warriors thing. It wasn't good. There's a game coming out for another anime I like, Fist of the North Star, which is an old manga and anime that's like this kind of Mad Max style post-apocalyptic thing, where this guy, Kenshiro, kind of roams the wastelands at 1990X, or 20XX, I can't remember, some kind of XX year. And he has this special martial arts ability where, like, hitting certain pressure points, you can just make your body fucking explode in all kinds of nasty, gory ways. And it's such a hilarious, over-the-top anime. And there's a lot of good memes with it. Drinking game for that series. Just get fucking hammered watching Fist of the North Star. But there's a new game coming out for that, made by the same developers of a series I really like called Yakuza. So I'm really excited to see that game. Tons of great anime out there, though. I love a lot of the Gundam series. There's this great series called, for short, it's called, a lot of people call it TTGL. In the full title in Japanese is Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. In English, they usually just call it Gurren Lagann, and it's this 26-episode series, like, with kind of like robots and like fighting aliens and stuff like that. Like humans piloting like robots to like fight aliens and like retake back Earth. And it just gets fucking insane. Also easily one of my favorites. Oh, that's a fun one. That one's on Netflix, I think, and Hulu. A lot of these I'm mentioning are on streaming services. Hellsing Ultimate is a really good like 10-episode long OVA series. Yeah. The Gundam. There's some cool games for it in the series, especially out in Japan. I got to see some of those in the arcades.
Des munitions, prends-les. Là, quelques munitions. Tiens, des munitions.
Hellsing Ultimate is on Hulu. I recommend that too. Each episode is like an hour long or so, but that's like a really super gory one about vampires and Nazis and shit. It's super fucked up. That one's fun. Just kind of pulpy, like B-movie style, but like really good. And there's like this war between like the Anglican Church and the Catholic Church, and the fucking like the Nazis and the vampires. It's just fucking ridiculous. Like half the OVAs are like just telling one giant ass battle that happens in London or whatever, because like Nazi vampires descend on it. It's fucking insane.
We have lost objective butter.
Des munitions pour toi.
Not quick enough. Actually doing pretty okay taking this map. Doing better than I thought we
taken the sector.
would.
Clear the sector from enemy presence. We have secured the sector.
Thanks, dude. Taking out all these guys before I can even fucking kill them. And I get sniped. That's Battlefield. Or that's me playing Battlefield, not being very good at it. Oh wait.
The final objective is within our reach.
Dude, that's totally cool with me. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate you tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your night. Yeah, I'll probably only be going for as long as this match lasts, and I'll be getting off on the stream. Going for over 2 hours now, actually. Battlefield goes by fast. Or time button goes by fast when you're playing that.
We have taken objective butter.
Problem, of course, is like keeping them sprinting. Come on. Horse battle. Horse duel. Oh, come on.
We are losing objective butter.
I am just fucking around. I have no idea how. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, now I'm dead. I had no business being alive playing like that. This game just looks so cool. I love the presentation of it. Oh, I don't have my repair tool equipped.
Half of our forces remain.
Yikes.
Soldat d'assaut ennemi! Restez en alerte!
These guys can get ruined. That was
Tirez-vous! Soldat d'assaut ennemi!
Ah, damn.
We have lost objective butter. "20 of our soldiers remain. We have taken objective butter.
This fight, man. But we will never stop fighting. Inaction is atrophy, paralysis, and death. By 1918, the Germans had perfected the art of defending in death.
All right, everybody. I think I'm going to call it here.
Type of war could be waged that favored the attacker.
2 hours and 20 minutes is pretty good.
A war that used
this has been really fun these past couple days doing these streams.
If the Germans had found success,
yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to keeping it up. If you tuned in at all live tonight, or you're just checking out an archive at some point in the future, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I am not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm also on Instagram, Gelf513. Thanks, dude. Good night, Brandon. So yeah, look there, I guess, for any announcements. I also have a link on Twitter, Gelf513, and Facebook as well. I guess if you're a friend with me on that site. I don't really use it too much anymore. Although I guess they're still getting to steal my data through Instagram, so they win no matter what. Alright, so with that... Wow, excuse me. We'll call it the stream. After I actually quit out of all these menus and actually properly stop the broadcast on PS4. There's gonna be so many awkward moments of me actually trying to end this shit. And there just being like audio at the end of me fucking around. Alright, good night everybody. Thank you so much for watching.